Imagine looking at a company that's growing its sales, but its wallet has a hole the size of a crater. Welcome to the trillion-dollar Divergence. Today, we're tearing down the 2025 annual reports of the 8 biggest powerhouses in the chip world. We're not just talking about gadgets, we're talking about the silent war for the DNA of every EV and AI server on the planet. I'm from HDIN Research, and we're about to follow the money. Before we look at the winners, we have to look at the battlefield. Part 1. The brutal reality of 2025. It was a year where record-breaking became a double-edged sword. Everyone was building, but not everyone was selling. Let's see who got stuck in the mud. Here's the wow factor. Companies like Texas Instruments spent over $4.5 billion just on factories last year. That's enough to buy every person in New York a Tesla. They are building massive 300mm wafer plants during a market slump. It's a moat or cliff scenario. Either they become the lowest cost producer on Earth, or they've just built the world's most expensive empty rooms. Now look at this chart. This is where it gets scary. onsemi and STMicro saw their net profits drop by, no, that's not a typo, nearly 90%. Why? They did what we call a big bath. They took all their bad news, all their old inventory, and all their restructuring costs, and flushed them down the toilet in 1 year. They're cleaning the house to look pretty for 2026, but for now, the basement is flooded. This brings us to the ultimate question for 2026. In a world drowning in record debt and record investment, who actually wins? Is it the guy with the biggest factory, or the guy with the smartest ecosystem? Let's find out. In the chip business, selling just one chip is a hobby. Selling a system is a business. TI has 80,000 products. If you buy a chip from them, you're locked into their ecosystem for a decade. ST is doing the same by merging their brains, MCUs, with their muscles, power. While smaller players are tech islands, these giants are building solution archipelagos that are almost impossible for customers to leave. Here is TI's secret weapon. They are moving to 300mm wafers. Think of it like this. Their competitors are baking small cookies one by one, while TI just bought a commercial-grade oven that bakes twice as many cookies for 40% less cost. In a price war, TI can lower their prices and still make money while their rivals starve. That's why they gave back $6.4 billion to shareholders while others were begging for loans. Now, let's talk about Navitas. They are the tech geniuses of the GaN world, but they're walking a tightrope. They don't own their own factories. They rely on TSMC. But rumor has it, TSMC is leaving the GaN business by 2027. If Navitas can't find a new kitchen for their chips, their 108% R&D spending won't matter. They need a win in AI servers, and they need it yesterday. Why did Vishay stay stable while others crashed? Because they sell boring stuff, resistors and capacitors. These are like the ballast on a ship. When the semiconductor waves got crazy, Vishay's passive components kept them upright. onsemi, on the other hand, put half their eggs in the EV basket. When EV sales slowed down, onsemi felt every bump in the road. The only thing keeping some of these companies afloat is AI. Data centers are the lifeboat of 2025. Every AI rack needs massive power, and that's where diodes and onsemi are finding their spare change. If a company isn't in the AI data center right now, they're essentially invisible. How do these companies spend their allowance? TI is the shareholder-first model. They pay you to stay. ST and Vishay are aggressive expander models. They're spending money they don't even have yet to build for the future. Vishay is even borrowing money to pay dividends. That's like using a credit card to pay for a fancy dinner. It works for now, but the bill always comes. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, China. Companies like Persemi get 93% of their money from mainland China. If the trade winds shift, that's not just a breeze, that's a hurricane. ST is even building a joint venture in Chongqing just to stay inside the wall. In this game, if you're not local, you're nowhere. Who actually makes money? TI's profit margins are at 57%. That is top-tier status. They own the ceiling. Meanwhile, because of those big baths we talked about, ST and onsemi are struggling in the 30% range. In a down cycle T, I can use those fat margins as a weapon to price everyone else out of the market. Here are the red flags. Persemi is hiding the names of their top suppliers, calling them trade secrets. onsemi is doing massive write-downs. And Vishay is paying out more than they're making. As an analyst, these are the cracks in the foundation you need to watch. Not everything that glitters is a silicon wafer. So what's the play for 2026? TI is the cash cow, safe, boring, and rich. ST and onsemi are the moats, high risk, but they own the tech for the future. Diodes and Navitas are on ceiling warning. their supply chains are fragile. The bottom line? 2026 belongs to the giants who used this bad year to build walls so high no one else can climb them. The future is 800 volts. AI servers and fast EV chargers need power density that old silicon just can't handle. Silicon carbide is the new oil. If you want to know who wins 2026, look at who's dominating the AI server racks today. That's the strategic bottleneck of the next decade. The semiconductor world is diverging. The gap between the haves and the have-nots is getting wider. If you want the full-page deep dive report on these companies, head over to HDIN Research. Email us at sales@hdinresearch.com or visit our site. Don't just watch the future happen, decode it. I'm from HDIN Research, and we'll see you in the next cycle.